All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this timing research special event. And here this morning, Fausto is back to share more information about how he finds big winners in today's markets. And of course, just a reminder, this presentation is for educational purposes only. Trading is not suitable for all people. Please consult a financial advisor and only trade with money you can afford to lose. This session is being recorded and it will be available on TimingResearch.com as soon as I can get it posted. Also, if you search for Timing Research on YouTube, Substack, or your favorite podcast app, you can find them there as well. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Fausto Puglisi of cybertradinguniversity.com.
David, thank you so much. And it's always great to be here on Timing Research. Everyone, hopefully everybody's excited. It is Friday. It's the last day of the week. And I don't know if I'm more excited about that or what's going on in the market. We just got a little correction going on. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But the key thing I'm going to focus on, I'm going to show all of you, is I'm going to teach you all how to day trade, to swing trade, to options trade, show you basically how to find the biggest market movers in the market and why I've been doing this for 35 years. So, and also political headlines. How does that affect the market? There's having one of the most complicated, the president we have, President Trump, right now with the things that he's been doing. It's been making these stocks move unbelievable. I'm going to look forward to talking about that. All right. But before we do that, let me just tell everyone, quick little risk disclosure. I'm not going to make any guarantees and promises. This works for everybody. Please keep in mind that there is a high risk of trading, and please don't go out there and risk money that you can't afford to lose. Okay. Now, here's all the big things we're going to talk about. I'm going to teach you all about how to follow the big money, the smart money, long-term, short-term, whatever it may be. It's those things that are going to make the market move. I'm going to show you how to follow price action, order flow, high frequency trades, best times to trade, worst times to trade. Also, how to develop a very good system where, depending on what kind of platform you have, you could pretty much do this on this strategy on any platform. And then last but not least, one of the biggest failure rates that people have is risk management. They just go out there and they just don't want to take a loss. And I'm going to show you, if you don't take a loss, it only gets worse, because the last thing you want to do is go bankrupt. So in the next 30 minutes, I'm going to invite all of you to come and join our professional trading room. With that, I'm going to give you my book. I'm going to show you how to find and get these tools, everything. So everything that we do here, we do practice what we preach. So please stand by, watch what we're going to cover, because I don't want to waste anyone's time to go to another room or whatever if this is not for you. But I think after you listen in, you're going to see that a lot of you have been trading blind, and you're going to know now why 90% of the people lose money in trading. Now, you have to understand, we are coming off probably one of the strongest summers that I've ever seen in the market. And usually September and October and November are really good months of the year to trade, probably the best months of the year to trade. And you see that the market is breaking new highs, just constant. But what is forcing these stocks to go up and go down? Okay. It comes down to buyers and sellers. That's really what it all comes down to. That's what it boils down. So what I want to do right now is I want to go to the market, and I want to show you guys what's moving and what's not moving and so on. But before I do that, let me just bring over really quick my trading floor. Now, this is our trading floor right here. And as of right now, if you could see here in the top left-hand corner, there's about 208 people in the room. These are all our instructors, and these people down here are from all over the world. We just got some news that came out on the spies. President Trump posted on Truth Social, he has been contacted by other countries angry at that China's trade hostility. All right, so it looks like that's making the market pretty volatile right now. We've got a big correction on the market, but we're posting alerts, showing you examples of why stocks go up and go down. You'll see stocks that are moving, and also this is called the Matrix on TradeStation. We'll show you how to use these tools. But all of you are going to be invited into this trading room, and this is the original trading room that I started over 35 years ago. It was actually one of the first ones that ever came out. So, but before we do that, let's go. Let's do some shopping. Let's look at a couple of stocks. Now, what I want to teach you all is this. Does anybody here have a stock you want to look at? Any stock? Just give me a stock symbol. Anybody here have a stock? All right, you know what? Let's bring up Palantir. Some of you got a private PLTR. All right, so we got Palantir here, and Palantir, you could see it had a really, really nice run. Started around 150, okay? And on the swing trade, now it's coming close to the highs of 190. Now, just out of curiosity, why did it hit 190, okay, and come back down to 150? Does anybody know why that is? Anybody here know? Why did it go to 90 and drop down to 150, and now it's kind of been holding here at 190? What made 190 so special? Does anyone have an idea? Take a guess. What makes a stock from stop going higher? It's sellers. Exactly. It's sellers, fellow traders. So what I want to show you is I want to show you something that where most people make a mistake. Right here, you're looking at the left of the chart. Okay. I am going to show you something called the right of the chart. So I'm going to bring up the right of the chart right here, and you are going to see this is Palantir. And what you're looking at is this is 9:30, the market opened up, and this is called program trading. And you'll see this red line. If you follow up all over here, this is called the order book. Okay. This is showing you every order that's out there. And you could see right here from 190, 189, 188, you got 250,000, 60,000, 145,000. That from 188 to 190, you got a big, big, big amount of orders that want to sell. Now, I'm going to ask everyone the same question one more time. What makes stocks go up and down? Could everyone just reply back to that? So I know you're paying attention. What makes stocks go up and go down? Because if you can't answer this question, I'm going to do you one of the biggest favors. You should log out right now, and you should start going to webinars, listening to stockbrokers and mutual funds, because if you don't, this is how trading works. Exactly. Buyers and sellers. And that's what you have right here. There you have a lot of sellers, and when you have a lot of sellers, that's what's preventing it from going higher. All right. Now I'll do another one right here. Let's look at NVIDIA. Okay. So NVIDIA, if you'll notice right here, without looking at, hold on a second. Oh, that's why I can't do it. Okay. So if you look at NVIDIA, there is a big seller right here and right about here. And that number is about $200. Okay. And then you could see right around here, 196, there's another seller out there. So two very, very big sellers right there. The biggest one is at 200. Now, when you look at NVIDIA right here, let me clear this out and bring up NVIDIA. There we go. NVIDIA is breaking all-time highs. So you might think is 200 is a mental number, but there's no such thing of mental numbers. Okay. There's nothing. It's the fact is that's where the biggest sellers are. So if you look back as far as you want, you're not going to find resistance levels until you get to that number right there. So the point about being a good trader is you got to have a game plan. And the game plan is looking at the right of the chart, not the left of the chart. The left is the past. The past is not always indicative of the future. And that's why people fail in today's trading, because they always want a stock to tell them where to go. You should know where it's going before it gets there. Now, let me tell you a little bit about myself and tell you why I'm here and why I've done so much work with David over the years, is that I'm one of the original, what we call SOS bandits in the old days, which are the original day traders. Now, I've done trading competitions. I beat every school I competed against. I live here in New York. I was trained by some of the best traders in the world. And not only that, but I started one of the first educational schools in the industry. But the big thing is, the way I've learned is because I worked for somebody, and I worked for a very successful trading firm that showed me how to trade. And let me tell you something, fellow traders, what you're about to see, the technology's been around for over 50 years. 50 years has been around. And some of you are going to probably see it for the first time and want to know, why didn't I know this before? Well, you always have to ask yourself a question: who really trained you? Okay. Because I was that same person 35 years ago. I was like, how could anybody trade without using this technology? Well, it's not, the technology is trading on the NASDAQ platform, the New York Stock Exchange platform. I've done a lot of presentations for them, and you're going to see them, all of them, and how to utilize them. Now, before I move forward and show you that, I do want to offer everyone access to my book. Okay. So if anyone here would like my book for free, you can go to Amazon, pay me $50. I don't have any problem taking your money, or you can send me an email right now at Fausto@c2trading.com. Right there's my email address. And it's a color book. It's a fast read. And basically, the title is exactly what I'm going to cover. I'm going to teach you how to beat market makers. Some people are like, what the hell is a market maker? A market maker is a trader that works for a brokerage firm. The trading department, they call us market makers because we're making a market, in a stock. So that's basically what it is. So I'm going to tell you exactly their secrets, what they do, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So take the second right now, go to your inbox, send me an email, and just write the word book and your real name, and I'll get that over to you. All right. Now let me go on and move on here, because the facts are this. This is not about about me. This is really about you. And what I'm looking for is, I love teaching people, like you see these wonderful people in this image right here. These are students that we've done classes with over and over again. And you'll see they're just like you. They're engineers, they're grandmas and grandpas, they're border control people, they're engineers, they're, salesmen, teachers, military. They're just people like you looking to make a day's pay. But hopefully I can make one of you like them. And that's what it's all about. But to do that, you got to know how to play the game. Now, every morning I go live on YouTube. I also run a home living channel because I had too much free time in my hands. But the thing is, a lot of us like the freedom of being a trader, but you just don't know how to trade it. So what I'm going to show you right now is how to follow the big money. It's not complicated. It's not hard. And I think when you people out there start looking at it, you're going to realize that most of you have been trading blind. And no matter what kind of trader you are, a day trader, a swing trader, an options trader, a crypto trader, you're going to be able to utilize this for all of those. So I want to cover one thing right now. I want to start off talking about something called level 3, okay, which is called NASDAQ Book Viewer. So could everyone just give me a chat in the chat box and just tell me if you have level 3, just give me a yes or no. So if everybody could just write, yes or no. Okay, see, you have it. Okay. Anyone else? What about you, Philip? Do you have it? Tim? I see that you're in here. I didn't hear from you. Todd, James, Henry? Does anyone here have it? And if you don't have it, just be honest. Just say no. And also chat so I know you're paying attention, you're listening in. Okay. All right. So far, a lot of you are saying no. All right. So let me explain to you what it is, and then you're going to see exactly why you need it. So right here, Palantir, we'll look at the stock. What it's going to show you is every buyer out there and every seller out there in the market. You see, when you're trading, you're just getting a quote and see what the price is. But what does that actually mean? Like, who made up that price? Who's buying it at that price? And also, who's selling it? Who's on the bid? Who's on the offer? But what's powerful about this is that when you're only seeing the best bid, the best offer. When you have level 3, you're seeing all the buyers, all the prices they want to buy it, and at what price they want to buy for. And whoever wants to buy for the most is up on top. Whoever wants to buy for less money is down at the bottom. So think about it. You're watching every buyer and every seller out there in the entire world. That is the power of having level 3 quotes. So when you're trying to figure out where supports and resistance levels, well, to have a support level, you got to have buyers. To have resistance levels, you got to have sellers. Like this example right here, OKLO. Look at what this stock did. It started right around this price, right around here, around 137, came all the way down, decided to stop at 133, and then at 12 o'clock, it just shot all the way up to 145. Now, why is that? Why did it pick that number at 133? Well, there's only one reason why. If you look at the buy column and you work your way down, the biggest buyer is at 133 for 50,000 shares. Now, you have to understand something. There are a lot of buyers and a lot of sellers at every single penny. But so you're probably saying, well, how do I know which one I should look at? It's very simple. The biggest one. And it's not only big, it's huge. Where you're looking at 3-digit numbers, today you're looking at a 5-digit number. Once again, I think we all could agree. How do stocks go up and go down? Buyers and sellers. So, but everyone does the opposite. They're looking for supports and resistance. You cannot have a support level unless the buyers are out there. Now let's do vice versa. Let's do the sell side. Here you're looking at Apple. Big run up in Apple right out of the gate, goes from 158, shoots all the way up to 260, and then goes right back down to 257. Why did it go up $3 and come down $3? And why did it pick 160? Why not 159? Why not 170? Why 260? Well, there must have been somebody that wants to sell it at 260, and the only way to see it is you got to work your way down, and you could see all the way down here. There's about 378,000 shares out there looking to be sold, and there are 4,960 orders out there that make up the 378,000. See, that's not one person. That's almost 5,000 people that make it. Okay. Now, is that a lot? Well, when you work your way down that list, you got 2,000 share sellers, 29,000, 800, 900, 1,000. Yeah, I think 37,000 is a lot. Okay. That's about almost 100 times more the average than any price out there. So what are you more interested in? The big seller or the indicator? That's the power of trading. Now, let me move on and show you a couple more examples here. Let's go over, let me show you this. We're looking at a stock called SMR. Okay, you ever own a stock and it makes a big pop and it backs off and you're like, do I sell it or is this a time to buy? I'm going to ask everyone this question again. What makes stocks go up and go down again, everyone? It's 2 letters. How do they go up and go down? Just write BNS. Buyers and sellers. That's it. Do you see buyers and sellers on a chart? I don't. So what do? The only way you could see it is you got to go to the orders. Now, when we go to the exchange and we look over here on the left, where I see my biggest buyer, right there at 134, at $39.80 for 134,000 shares. So without even looking at anything else, just in theory, I could say that number really has to be some type of a support levels. And you know what? It was. And that's why the stock went from 39.80 up to 46.70. That is a huge run up over the course of the day. And if you're trying to figure it out, that's the reason why. Because that 134 is probably over 100 times to 200 times more than any other order out there at any other price. Let's check out resistance levels. Looking at a stock Soons, big morning run. Stock's been on a really good tear, great run up. Now, did you ever own a stock and want to know, okay, where do I get out? You want to know where the game plan is. You want to know where to sell it. Well, the only way to where you're going to know where to sell it is you got to know where the sellers are. So where are the sellers? Got to look at the sell column, work my way down, look for the biggest digit number down there on that list. And when I go from all the way down to $20, that's where I see almost 1,300 orders out there that equal over 500,000 shares. Now, that's not pocket change. That's a lot of orders out there. So you don't want to sell a stock too early, and you definitely don't want to sell it too late. But now you have that order out there. That's going to explain why it hit it, came down, hit it, came back down. And if you didn't have that game plan, guess what? You screwed. That is the power of following level 3. Now, my question is, did I lose anybody? Did I lose anyone yet? That kind of makes sense. All right. So if anyone here would like to get that book, this is all you have to do. Drop me an email right now at Fausto at CTU Corp, okay, or CTU Trading. Let me check my email, see if anyone here emailed me yet. Oh, Steven, I got yours. Goodwin, I got yours. Okay. Eric, I got yours. All right. Tina, I got yours. Perfect. All right. So if anyone here would like to get the NASDAQ book viewer, email me right now. Just open up your inbox and just show you right here. Type in Fausto. Here I am. And just write NASDAQ book right there. And also give me your real name because there's some people in here. I don't know who you are. Okay. Fausto. All right. And just hit send. And then I will get it. Okay. And what I'll do is I'm going to give you 2 videos. Okay. You can go right to NASDAQ's website, but the problem is I'm actually doing more harm to you than good. I'll give you 2 videos of 5 minutes long because I want to make sure you know how to download it properly, and which is not that hard, but also set the defaults correctly because you're going to look at it and you're going to have maybe 10 columns when you only really need 3. You're not going to have everything aggregated, and I'll show you how to do it. So very, very important you do that. So if you feel that this is important to you, email me now and I'll take care of it. Now, please keep in mind, this is how Wall Street market makers trade. This is what we do. All right. If you had an opportunity to go to the floor of the exchange and see where everyone's buying and selling stocks, I think you probably wouldn't think twice and say, yeah, I'll definitely do that, especially if you're in the industry. Now, one question somebody always asks me, and I know this is always a big concern, money, right? What does it cost? Well, this is the crazy part about the whole thing. When I started 35 years ago, I had to pay $1,000 a month for this technology. Now, I don't think anyone here is jumping out of hoops and dishing out $1,000 a month. It doesn't cost $1,000 a month anymore. It doesn't even cost $100 a month. It costs $15. Now, I want you to kind of envision this pretty quickly. If you were in the business, okay, in the trading business, which that's why all of you are here, and you had an opportunity to go to the auction, the heart of where everything is going on, without dealing with third-party companies and everything else. If you really want something and know what you're going to get and what's going on, and you had the opportunity to do that, to walk in the front door of the New York Stock Exchange, and it cost you $15, not 5 million that those some people paid for the floor, $1,000 for technology. It's cost you $15. You would not pay for that. You know, we have no problem dropping, $10 on a cup of coffee. We have no problem with inflation. Like I can go on and on and on. You're seeing all the trades that are going off, and think how much smarter and better trading decisions you had made by for $15. Okay, so we call these things iceberg orders. These are big, big block orders. All right. And that's the power of finding out, because I like to call iceberg orders because I came up with that word after watching the movie Titanic. And we all know it didn't really work out too well for the Titanic because it's not what's on top of the water, it's what's on the bottom of the water. So as everyone's looking at the level 1 version, we're looking at the level 3 version underneath. And you know what ends up happening? If you don't see it, hit an iceberg, you're not going to make it. Now, did I lose anybody yet? Miles, I got yours too. I just got your email. Thanks a lot, Miles. I'll send that over to you. All right. Appreciate it. Um, no, I don't think I didn't get lost. Did you guys get lost? All right. Well, now let me talk about one more thing. I'm going to talk about level four. And level four is what I showed you earlier. Okay. So let's look at some of the stocks. Wow, the market's really crashing pretty bad right now. All right. Guess that news that came out on President Trump didn't work out too well. President Trump scheduled to make an announcement tonight, 5 p.m. from the Oval Office. After market closes, could be a scary Monday morning holding swings. All right. So could it be Liberation Day all over again? It could be an opportunity. Absolutely. All right. So anyone here want to know why the stock is going down? Well, this is what it's all about. Following the orders. So this is basically level four, and you could see the orders, how it's going down. You could see Tesla, all the orders out there. You see them here on the right. And, some of us are going to be like, what's going to save us? Well, the only thing that's going to save you is probably this buyer at 420, right? Anyone here trade Bitcoin? Well, here's Bitcoin. There's the next biggest Bitcoin right there at 130,000 for 347 orders. Really don't see any big buyers out here in Bitcoin other than at 115, 110. But you see how you see the orders. So now the difference between level three and level four is level three, you're seeing the numbers here. Level four, you're seeing it on a heat map. That's the big difference. So without jumping ahead and going through all that stuff, we will cover this stuff at Cyber Trading University and teach you how to use it in our live trading room. But that pretty much does it. You don't really, before we start getting into more advanced stuff, I just want you to know that this technology does exist. All right. So let me X out of this and move it on. Now, regarding about finding the stocks, finding them is pretty easy. We go through our big percentage gainers and losers, and like here you have a stock QNRX. It's up 254%, and probably wonder why did the stock go up so much. We're going to cover that in our trading room. We're going to show you how to, before you jump into these stocks, to make sure what's tradable and what's not. Why we're following, like what was a good stock that we trade this morning that they had? Intel was pretty good. Intel was pretty decent. You see Intel right here? How Intel went all the way up to about almost $40, and it came all the way back down to 37. Do the math. If you didn't get out this morning right before that 40, look how much money you would have lost. Why is that? This is why. In Intel, if you look right here on top, there's almost 900,000 shares looking to be sold right there. You think you know more than 900,000 shares? I don't think so. Do you see any buyers out here? I mean, you got a buyer out here, which is kind of holding, but there's a really big seller out there at 40. And that's the power of trading the market. You need to learn how to read the right of the chart, not the left. The left helps, but to confirm if that left of the chart is really a support level, you got to have those orders out there. So this is what I want to do, fellow traders. I have to go. I want to get back to the market because it is extremely volatile right now, and I'm losing some great opportunities, but that's okay because I want to invite you guys to come into that trading floor with me. Okay. I want to show you examples. I want to show you the traders, all those 200 traders in there, how we're getting into these positions, how we're following these orders, and how you could really see more. So this is what you're going to have to do. You could sign up on our YouTube channel. You could also follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We do post every day. We broadcast live every day. But better than just getting some free stuff, why don't you come join our trading room? Okay. And you'll see why Cyber Trading University is one of the only schools that has a 5-star rating in trading. Now, basically, this is all we need to do. I'm looking for serious traders. So before you go out there and you want to spend, $15 on a book viewer, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you a 1 week trial for $9. That's it, just $9. And with that, I'm going to give you my book, which right off the back is $50. You're going to get that for free. You're going to get full access to the trading floor, everything. And these are the things that you're going to get for the $9 for the week. You're going to get live audio commentary that we do all day. You're also going to get access to our chat room where you're going to see all our traders, how they trade together, and the stocks that we trade. You're going to get our alert service. We're going to give you alerts showing you what makes these stocks are going up and down. We're going to give you watch lists. You're going to have VIP access to our podcast. We do education classes all week that are going to teach you how to trade, all for $9. And some people always ask me, like, that sounds pretty cheap. Something's wrong. Well, I'll tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is not, getting educated. And we used to charge, $990 for the week trial, but we figure this. We just want you guys to come in, and I know everyone could afford $9, and I don't make money on $9. I don't need the $9, but the $9 just tells me you're a real person or not. Okay. There's some people here with different names. I don't know who you are, where you came from. We don't look. We want to make sure that you're qualified to be in there. All of you are going to talk to my staff. So we're not going to charge you anything after a week. This is just an application fee to get into the room for 1 week access in it. So if you like what you hear and you saw what was going on, that's what you're going to get for $9. Now, there's all the great stuff you're going to get. You're going to get live commentary. You're going to get classes. You're going to get Traders Talk Library. Also, at the end of the week, if you want your $9 back, you can keep it. And I'm going to do one more bonus I'm going to throw in there. If you do register now, I will personally give you a free call where I will actually talk to you. And the reason why I do that is because some of you here need some questions answered. And I know some of you probably taken classes and no one ever spoken to you before because they didn't take you that seriously. I'm looking for traders I could teach that are serious, that I could interview, that could be part of my team, my 1,000 traders I have in my trading room. Okay. And if you feel you want to be part of it and see if you're qualified for it, here's your opportunity. So it all starts with just $9. All right, traders. Now, before we go, because I want to get back into the trading room. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions at all? You could, if you want to start now, you can jump in the room now. If you want to wait till Monday, you could do that too. But like I said, you got to start somewhere. You have to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. Trading is a 90% failure rate. It's one of the biggest failure rates in the industry. And why would you want to be in a business where you're almost guaranteed to lose? Well, the reason why it's a guarantee is because who really trained those people? You want to be self-taught? You think would you give your money to someone that never learned finance? Well, what do you think you're doing? Okay. So if you think $9 is expensive, try ignorance. So let's go out there. Let's make an investment. Come to the trading room. See why we've been doing this for 35 years. See why we're the most popular school in the industry, endorsed by more brokerage firms than anyone in the industry. See why we got a 5-star rating, and then you'll make a judgment. Because listen, trading is not for everyone, and that's okay. All right. But the only way you're going to know if you come and check it out. With that said, if nobody has any questions, thanks for being here. David, there's the link up on the screen on the chat. Just click on it and get registered, and then we'll see you all there. All right, guys. Thanks for listening in. Hope you enjoyed it. Happy trading, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I look forward to seeing you all in the trading room.
All right. Thanks, Fausto. Great presentation. Thank you for being here. And just a reminder for everyone, the recording will be on TimingResearch.com as soon as I can get it processed. Thanks, everyone.